Happy Wisdom Wednesday, everyone. So this week's book of the week is a very interesting one because it's one that I almost didn't buy because I thought it was kind of a silly, janky book cover. But as the saying goes, you never judge a book by its cover. I remember picking this up back in, as noted here, 2016. That's a great trick, by the way. You should always, once you buy your physical books, make a little journal entry as to what's going on in your life at the time. So I bought this in 2016. And it's called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. Includes the rare bonus book, How to Attract Money, the landmark classic by Joseph Murphy, PhD. So everything about this book just seemed spammy. I hate to say it. But I decided, let me pick it up and look at the contents of it. Because that's, I think, the mistake that many of us make, is that, as we say, we judge a book by its cover, and we lose the opportunity to gain a lot of value from a book. And you know, sometimes you just need one book to give you that one idea. And I remember this was a pivotal one for me many years ago. Now, Joseph Murphy wrote this book back in 1965, and many credit it to have influenced a wide wave of positive thinking and people who teach you how to control and influence your subconscious. People like Norman Vincent Peale, Tony Robbins, and other people, even Jim Rohn. Now, Joseph Murphy started out as a pharmacist, and then he later went on to get his PhD in psychology, and then, of course, at one point in his life, became a minister. And he wrote this book, which I really liked a lot, about how to control and influence your subconscious mind, which many of us will learn throughout our life has a huge impact in the types of people that we attract to our life, the networks that we have, the success we have, our health, and everything. The thing about the subconscious mind is that if you think about a glacier, right, the tip of the iceberg is our conscious mind, which is what's really above water. But what's below the water, that's our subconscious mind, which is a lot larger. And very much like this one image where you see a rider on an elephant, the rider, again, we can think about it as our conscious mind, and the elephant is our subconscious mind. So as much as we think the rider is actually in control, our subconscious mind, which is that big elephant underneath it, is really what's driving the show. And if we don't learn how to speak to it, to influence it, to guide it, it will actually guide us. To demonstrate this, I'm going to show you a great exercise in which using your body can help sort of influence your subconscious and unconscious mind. So, with the power of internet magic, let's grab a chair. So, when it comes to your body, your mind and body are obviously connected very, very closely. But the way we decide to influence our subconscious mind, there are little tricks to it. So, for example, when you're in a meeting, I'm going to put the book down for this. When you're in a meeting, if you're in a negotiation, for example, and it's getting tense, consciously you might be focused on what you're supposed to say next and what the other person's communicating, but subconsciously, because let's say you're getting in a very defensive position, let's say the other person is also getting tense and they're scrouching up, subconsciously your mind will start getting aggravated and tense at the same time. And what happens is that as your subconscious starts doing that, it causes your body to start tensing up as well. And the more your body tenses up, then your mind gets more tense as well. And it sort of goes out of whack from there. If you remember, many times when you've probably got upset about something, it's kind of like a fog. You forget about the things you say and did, right? And that's because of the power of the subconscious mind. So when you're in a meeting next time, here's what you should do. The first thing that I always do in a meeting is I use the chair, the back of the chair, and I unlock it. And I sit back. And just by sitting back, this position signals immediately to your brain that you're in a relaxed position. And subconsciously, your mind will relax. Everything will slow down. The other thing that I do is, instead of locking my arms, which this is, in any animal, the belly is the most sensitive region. Right? So when you have a lot of trust, for example, if you notice with dogs, if a dog trusts you and loves you, it'll come and lay on its back and open its body up to you and show you its belly. This is also what wolves do with each other when they're trying to show submission. But when you're trying to protect yourself and you're tense, people often do this. It's a protective thing, and even when people think, this is sort of a self-soothing thing to do. So open this up and relax. Now, by doing this immediately short circuits to your brain that you're in a relaxed position. Everything's fine. There's no problem. There's nothing to be tense. And your mind starts to calm down and also be very much at ease, which will help in any negotiation, even when you're dealing with, let's say, your teammate or boss, because then you can have very pleasant, calm responses. This slows things down and it allows you to listen to the other person. It allows you to have a better conversation and, more importantly, be more effective, because that's what it's all about. Versus, if we keep our chair straight, what's going to happen, especially if there's a desk in front of us, we're going to start leaning forward and putting our elbows on the desk or the chair. Then we'll start to hunch over and scrunch up. And doing all that is subconsciously indicating to your brain that you're going to be in a position of danger, you're getting tense, and so your mind needs to buckle down and do more of that, right? So that's a perfect example. Now, the other thing that I would mention, and again, think about your mind and how it works and how it's connected to the body, is how do we go to sleep? So one thing that I always had difficulty with was sleeping, because my mind was always, racing at night. And so even when it comes to sleep, I'm going to read to you this example or this exercise that he gives, and you can try this at home. Again, a great way to demonstrate the connection between our physical bodies and the subconscious mind. And one way we can start using our subconscious mind or seeing the power of it is doing something physically with our body, because then we can see an immediate result, versus some of the more difficult things, such as using your subconscious mind to attain unimaginable goals. That does take some practice. But let's look at what he shows when it comes to sleeping. So when you're about to go to bed at night, repeat slowly, quietly, and lovingly prior to sleep, my toes are relaxed, my ankles are relaxed, my abdominal muscles are relaxed, my heart and lungs are relaxed, my hands and arms are relaxed, my neck is relaxed, my brain is relaxed, my face is relaxed, my eyes are relaxed, my whole body and mind are relaxed. I fully and freely forgive everyone, and I sincerely wish them harmony, health, peace, and all the blessings in life. I am at peace. I am poised, serene, and calm. I rest in security and peace. A great stillness steals over me, and a great calm quiets my whole being as I realize the divine presence within me. I know that the realization of life and love heals me. I wrap myself in the mantle of love and fall asleep filled with good will for all. Throughout the night, peace remains with me, and in the morning I shall be filled with life and love. A circle of love is drawn around me. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. I sleep in peace, I wake in joy, and in him I live, move, and have my being. So, and as I mentioned, he was a religious man and he was a minister. And obviously you're not going to memorize that whole thing. The idea is find somewhat of a prayer, a way to talk to yourself, to calm your body and give it commands, right? An amazing trick that I learned many years ago when dealing with executives is that a great way to calm somebody down is actually to point out the emotion that you're seeing in them. So when you see somebody who's very angry, you can point out like, hey, I know you're angry. It looks like you're very angry or aggravated or frustrated. The moment you call that emotion out, it seems that a lot of things are able to calm down because people are able to consciously focus on the emotion and then get rid of it. Same way with ourselves and our bodies. So if we start calling out and saying that we should feel calm and that we feel calm, right? Speaking those words, imagining it, allows us to start relaxing and letting go of tension and stress, right? And so that's one fantastic way to start practicing this, both in the evening time for sleep, and of course, as I mentioned before, when you're in meetings, to start seeing the connection and the power of the subconscious mind with the body. And I highly recommend getting this book because it is incredibly important to learn how to start utilizing your subconscious mind to project into the future and achieve the things that you want. So that's the book of the week. I hope you like it. Definitely get out and get it. And if you don't get the book, I haven't checked the audiobook, but I have a feeling this would also be really nice on audiobook. But I do recommend getting the physical book just because they have these fantastic lists in them. So, as always, happy Wisdom Wednesday, and I'll see you next week.